Imagine a life where your emotions no longer control you, a life where distractions lose their power, temptations no longer dictate your decisions, and difficult circumstances cannot shake your inner peace. Imagine waking up each morning with complete command over your thoughts, your actions, and your desires. How different would your life be? How much more could you accomplish? How much suffering could you avoid? The truth is that most people never reach their potential, not because they lack intelligence, talent, or opportunity. They fail because they never learn how to control themselves. They know what they should do, but they don't do it. They know what they should avoid, but they can't resist it. They make promises to themselves in moments of motivation, only to break them when discomfort arrives. And little by little, they become prisoners of their own impulses. In this video, we will explore the timeless Stoic principles that can help you build unshakable self-control every single day. These are not complicated theories. They are practical lessons that transformed ordinary men into some of the strongest minds in history. So if you're tired of procrastination, if you're ready to become the master of your mind instead of its servant, then stay with me until the end. Step 1. Understand that every desire is asking for permission. This is one of the most powerful Stoic lessons, yet most people overlook it. The average person believes that when a desire appears, it must be followed. They feel angry, so they react. They feel tempted, so they give in. They feel lazy, so they stop working. In other words, they allow every emotion, impulse, and desire to become their master. The Stoics taught the exact opposite. They believed that every desire is simply knocking at the door of your mind, asking for permission to enter. You have the power to say yes. You also have the power to say no, because there is a difference between having a desire and obeying a desire. Just because you feel something does not mean you must act on it. One of the greatest powers you can develop is the ability to pause and reason together with your mind, even if only for a few seconds. That pause creates a space between the event and the reaction. Inside that space lies freedom. Without the pause, anger controls you. With the pause, you control anger. For the next few days, try this simple Stoic exercise. Every time you feel a strong impulse, pause. Take one deep breath. Observe the desire without judging it. Ask yourself, what is this desire asking me to do? What will happen if I obey it? What will happen if I resist it? Most desires lose much of their power once you observe them calmly, like a shadow that seems frightening in darkness, but harmless in light. Step 2. Practice small daily acts of discipline. Most people think discipline appears when they suddenly become motivated. They wait for the perfect morning, the perfect mood, or the perfect moment to change their lives. The Stoics knew this was a mistake. They understood that character is built in ordinary moments. Imagine a man who wants to become physically strong. If he goes to the gym once and tries to lift an impossible weight, he will likely fail or injure himself. But if he lifts a manageable weight every day, his muscles gradually grow stronger. Self-control works exactly the same way. Every time you do something you promised yourself you would do, even when you don't feel like doing it, you strengthen your discipline muscle. For example, get out of bed immediately when your alarm rings. Avoid checking your phone for the first 30 minutes. Exercise for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Read something valuable every day. Spend time in silence and reflection. Listen more than you speak. Complete your most important task before entertainment. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to become slightly stronger every day. The real benefit of these small acts is not the action itself. The real benefit is the identity they create. Over time, this identity becomes stronger than your excuses, and eventually, self-control stops feeling like a struggle. It becomes part of who you are. That is why the Stoics focused on small daily acts of discipline, because they knew that a strong life is not built through occasional acts of greatness. It is built through ordinary acts of discipline repeated every day. 3. Master your emotional reactions. One of the most misunderstood forms of self-control is emotional discipline. People often believe self-control means resisting food, laziness, or distractions. But the Stoics knew that emotional control is even more important. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. The real test comes when life becomes difficult, when someone insults you, when plans fail, when disappointment arrives, when people betray your trust, when frustration boils inside you. At these moments, most people become slaves to their emotions. The Stoic chooses another path. Imagine a captain steering a ship through a storm. The waves are violent, the wind is relentless. Panic surrounds him, yet the captain remains calm because he knows panic will not save the ship. The same principle applies to life. When emotions rise, pause, take a breath, observe, respond thoughtfully rather than reacting automatically. The person who masters anger gains strength. The person who masters fear gains freedom. The person who masters emotion gains control over his destiny. 4. Remove unnecessary temptations. Many people believe self-control means constantly resisting temptation. The Stoics understood something smarter. The strongest warrior does not fight every battle. He avoids unnecessary ones. If unhealthy food sits in front of you all day, temptation becomes stronger. If distractions surround you, focus becomes harder. If negativity constantly enters your environment, peace becomes difficult. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of guarding the mind. Protect your environment, protect your attention, protect your energy. A farmer does not plant weeds and hope for a healthy harvest. He removes them. Likewise, remove what weakens your discipline. Create an environment that supports your highest self. The easier you make good choices, the stronger your self-control becomes.